Start singing just to make sure the microphones work as you can. Hey. Real quick before we get to the episode here, I just wanted to thank all you guys out there. We just ended up getting past 1,000 subscribers, and I am so happy and excited for that. And I just wanted to thank all you guys that have subscribed, that are checking out the channel, really enjoying it and all that. I really, really do appreciate it big time. It just blew my mind. I ended up checking it this morning, and I was like, holy cow, 4 months, and we're already over 1,000 subs. That's a big deal. That's definitely a big deal. And thank you guys again. I really, really do appreciate it. And I was just going to ask if you guys wouldn't mind, after you check out this episode, if you wouldn't mind checking out a couple more. Maybe you'd like to see the 1,000 horsepower LS buildup. I have, a couple of videos on that, from just doing the short block to the long block to being over at Steve Morris Engines, and we're doing, the dyno. Hopefully a couple of you guys have seen it. If you haven't, go check those videos out. Those are very informative, and if you're in the LS world and you're looking at wanting to, get into a pump gas setup, or hey, I want to build something for a retro ride, well, that whole setup is going to put you right down, the right alley. But go through the library, please check them out. We got to get our watch time hours up, because that is the next step for the Muscle Car Custom Garage channel to be able to get monetized, and that is what we're trying for. That's what we're striving for. So I just wanted to say thank you guys so much again. I really do appreciate it. And enough talking. Let's get back to the episode. All right, so everything went well last week. We got to take the car out and fill the tranny. Everything worked good there. We unfortunately didn't get to take it on down the street. Reason why, what happened was this does not have an alternator on it. And obviously not having an alternator, driving it back and forth in the driveway for 10 minutes straight with water pump, fan, fuel pump, all that stuff on, well, you're going to suck the battery dry. So what ended up happening was we drove it out down the road, and we didn't even make it a couple of 100 feet down the road. And the thing is just spitting and sputtering, and the old man quick turned it around. He's like, I can't keep this thing alive. So we brought it back here, put it on the charger, and it was really low. And for you guys that know, for you that don't know, an MSD ignition, you have to be at least, I believe it's 13.2, 13.3 for volts. Anything below that, the MSD is just not going to function right. And I've had it happen at the track before, and I hit about 5,000 RPM, and it's like you're hitting a rev limiter, just falling on its face, just doing its thing. So that's what was happening with him, just trying to idle the car. So it was really, really low. I think it was like maybe 11 volts. I mean, it was down really low. So we brought it back, got it back up on the lift, obvious. And I'm just finishing up on the wiring. Well, I'm tidying up the wiring. So let me show you that. Okay, so I'm just tidying up on the wiring. As you guys can see, I'm just using some of this wire loom. And I really like this stuff. It does kind of unravel. Let me show you here. You can see how it kind of unravels itself that way, and then it kind of pulls itself in, and then winds up again, winds up again. It takes a little bit of effort to use this stuff. You can't just like open it up, put it on, because a lot of times it'll close like that, and you have to fully open it. So what you do is once you get it on, you just take it and rotate it. Once the whole thing's on, you just kind of spin it, and then it plops itself in. This stuff is from Summit, and it's just nice stuff. For 10 feet is like 13 bucks. It's nice stuff. As you guys can see, it's nice stuff. And right now, pretty much the car is ready to go down the track. What we have left, excuse me, what we have left is we got to bring the car out to Go Fast. Great group of guys. You'll see them in an upcoming video. We're going to bring this thing out and get it scaled, and we're trying to get it down the track at least once this year, and I don't see why not. I mean, it's middle of September. We should have enough time. The old man's got to finish cutting the other side of the exhaust on that side. He is making this bracket. Let me show you here. Let me zoom you in. So the throttle over there, he ended up having to make that. And here, let me show you exactly what's going on. Here's a better shot. So this right here is what the throttle pedal used to be, was this back edge. Well, what happened was when you would fully floor it, you either floor it or you don't. But once you would floor it, you would actually be touching this top edge. When you would actually be pushing the throttle down, you'd be hitting this top edge. See what I mean? So at that point, it just wasn't working right. So it was like, hey, we need to have something that will actually pivot more. So, and this is just in its beginning stages here. I mean, we still got to, you run a nylon bolt, you don't run it so damn tight, so this thing actually flexes better. This is just lightly tacked in there. You're in the halfway stage. So also picked up some 3M like skateboarding tape, if you guys remember that. For my skaters out there, what's going on there, duders? But for the throttle itself, we're just going to end up putting it on this surface. That way you got something that you can actually bite onto. It's like 40 grit sandpaper. It's just two-sided tape. So we'll loosen this up, but we had to get him in the car, make sure it fits good. It actually added about an inch to, closer to him, but it doesn't seem to be a problem. So once you actually floor it, we'll be able to have full movement in this. So the nice thing is, his foot will stay right there. So let's do a quickie little thing on nitrous. This is going to be the next stage that I'm going to go to on the car. Is going to be for you guys out there that are curious at hooking up a nitrous kit. Now this is just going to be a single stage fogger, and also hooking up its own fuel source, which is when is it needed? This is just a quickie way of explaining it here. I hope I kind of get to it for you of why we're doing it on this car. This has got an Aeromotive A2000 pump. I believe it's the A2000. Now, these pumps are supposed to be good for 1,500 to 2,000 horsepower. Motor only makes around 1,000. Here's one of the things. Now, have you guys ever seen it where your Pro Mod, top sportsman cars, you see the fuel system up front by itself? Well, the reason for that is G-force. And when we're going through that, you got to remember, a lot of these cars are pulling 2Gs, 3Gs. We're talking top sportsman Pro Mod cars, 6-second, 5-second cars, stuff like that. You're making that fuel pump work against the G-force. So if that fuel pump's rated for 1,500 horsepower, 2,000 horsepower, well, they don't take it into consideration that you're working against the G-force pushing back. So that pump has got to push through, let's say, 10 feet of line going forward, plus all the G-forces going back. Now you understand why you would run a fuel cell up front and have your pump going into the motor, because you're actually using the G-force to help feed it. You're using the gravity to help feed it. So one of the things of why we're doing it on this car, you might even ask, why don't you have the fuel cell up front? Well, here, let me show you something real quick. Okay, so up front you can see that we wouldn't be able to put, see the nose, we've got the bar in the way, transmission cooler, all that stuff. We would not be able to put a fuel cell up front and still be able to get the front nose on the car. So at that point, that's the reason why the cell is in the back. And you guys might not have been able to see this before. Got a 10 gallon in it. There's the Aeromotive and all that stuff. It's all 10 AN lines. There's a Turbo Smart little 16 volt system. Now, at that point, this probably would work and be okay. Running this fuel pump, going against everything, and working on, the nitrous and all that. But it was just so happened that I'm going Pro Charger. So if I'm going Pro Charger, it's like, hey, I have this fuel system, I have all this stuff, and it's more of a safety of guaranteeing that you're going to be able to have a reliable fuel source specifically designed just for the nitrous. And if your finances allow you to be able to do that, I would definitely do that. Because last thing you need, man, is the fuel pressure or anything like that to drop when you're on spray and go lean and boom, blow your motor up. So as you can see, we got Schuler working on the Sunoco hood, trying to finish things up here. And this should hopefully be the last rough cut. And I know he's excited to get the thing onto the car to where we can actually see what it's going to look like. But I would say he's probably chopped, gotta be at least 3 or 4 inches out of this thing. So next thing, we're going to see how it looks up on the car. There we go. But you guys can see we're getting nice and close to it. How's it look on the inside? Oh, here's where we're at there. Now that is a 6.5 inch Sunoco Glass Tech hood. Yeah, I mean, I would say off of here.
Yeah, probably go up a little higher.
Yeah, I would say this angle, you could come in from here to here, but on the side of it, yeah, I would think from here to tip it up a little bit.
Yeah, I like the gap up here.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I think from when you go from this bottom edge where it like loops around the hood and you come to here, you could keep that rounded edge where you came down and like swooped it in this way. Don't go as much to where it's like that thick. Make it like that thick, which is going to take the line that you have that's cut this way. It's going to take that line and it's going to
bring it up.
Yeah.
Let me get a marker.
Oh. So now you can see we're just taking off that little bit of a sliver. Not much, but like always, take a little bit off. Because even taking off what he's taking off what you're taking off, trying to add what you're taking off,
yeah, good luck
would be
with that.
a huge pain in the butt. You know, so pretty much figuring that right there should do the trick. The second stage of this, like I said, for the nitrous purpose, which will be upcoming episode. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a taste of what the next step's going to be. Is that whole fuel system is going to be locked in up front here. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do some moving on the transmission cooler, and I'm going to fit that 1 gallon cell down inside here and then make something, not 100% sure yet, but I'm going to make something that's going to hold it, and it's going to hold the fuel pump, the regulator, filter, just everything that we need. And it's all going to be right here up front to where we can still get the front end on comfortably and be able to then just go straight from there, straight into the fogger kit. And at that point, I have to take everything off the black car still. So, and we're pretty much closing up on the day right now. So I'm just going to work on getting that next week, get that pulled out, and then we're going to start laying out how it's going to go up front, and you guys will be along for the ride for that one of how I'm going to lay this out. Now, to just quick touch base on when I was talking about, fuel pumps, and then I made it sound like, like the MagnaFlow pumps and things like that wouldn't be suited for this. It would. You could run it and run a fuel log, and then off that log run one regulator going for the motor, and you could run 2, 3, kits to the motor if you wanted to. People have done it. People have had it work for them, and it's worked fine. It's just the fact that I have that stuff. I have the fuel system for all the nitrous and all that, and it would be beneficial to be able to put it up front and make it work with it, and it's a guarantee that we don't have to worry about starving the nitrous or starving the motor. That's the reason why. That's what I meant by, if you have it within your budget to be able to do that, great. That'll be upcoming episodes. Hopefully going to hear from Steve and Kyle and all those guys on the ProCharge combination. I know they're super busy, and I'm not sure where they're at. I know my pistons just got ordered, and those showed up. I think we're still waiting on a camshaft. But other than that, we just kind of finished up a little bit on Schuler's setup. He is now getting into the process of having to sand the hood and get all that stuff done. So next thing will be either he's going to pin it or he's going to Zeus fast, and I don't know what he's going to do. We'll figure that out. But yeah. So hopefully we'll see you guys in the next upcoming episode. Like I said, we got to get this side done, get this thing scaled in, and we hopefully will get this thing down the track this year to what ET we don't know yet, but we will definitely be excited for that. So don't forget, share, like, subscribe. Do appreciate it very, very much. And if you guys watch this one, I wouldn't mind you watching another one. We got to get those watch time hours up on the channel here to kind of help things out. Really, really appreciate that if you guys wouldn't mind. So take care, keep the fires going, keep the tires rolling, and we'll catch you again